Don't know if anybody's hearing me right now, but I'm going to turn on the webcam here in just a second. But I gotta go grab some water and take a touring because I guess I didn't get enough sleep last night, and so now I'm sleepy again. So apologies for that. All right, here. Ooh. Uh, Hold on just a second. Just a quick second. Oh, today I'm just sleepy and today, but I will make some progress. And any progress is good progress, right? So, okay, let's go back. I just wanted to fix up my bed just a little bit. And not that it matters anyways, you can't really see it that much, and you might not even be watching it. I actually don't need the headphones unless I'm trying to listen to my audio or something. And okay, so we're still working on story. Uh, so apologies. Let me okay, let me close this. Oh, you're not seeing that. That's right, because I'm not on desktop just yet. All right. Let's see. Let's get going here. I got some water. I'll probably have to wait till my dad wakes up before I can have any coffee. The coffee machine, of course, is in the living room, and his room's connected to the living to the well, the kitchen. The kitchen and the living room are kind of like one big room, and my dad's bedroom is adjacent to it. And the problem here, these houses, and I don't know if it's all of Central Florida, but is that we got these. They're just basically they're like vents in between up above the door. So it's just an airflow thing. So they don't have to. So you have to do duct work back to the um, to move air out in and out of your room. So what it does is it goes through your room. I got one vent up there that blows hot or cold air, and then just it's just an open. Here I can actually show you if anybody's watching. Oop. Well, maybe I can show you. Nope, nope. There. I guess you can't see that because of the stupid light. Dang. Well, part of it is, I guess, it's partly my settings too. But oh, whatever. You can't see it. You can't see it. Um, Actually, let me do something here real quick. Let's turn this off for just a sec here. And it's a little dark. That's just so that you can see the vent on the top of the door. Here, see that there? That just goes into the hallway, basically, into the rest of the house. Up here is just is a regular, like air conditioning and stuff. But yeah. So here, let me turn the light back on. So I think it's a thing that's they do in houses down here in the South. I guess I don't know if it's the whole South, it's just Florida or just my area of Florida. I don't know for sure, but it's a cheap way to do return air without like spending the time and the money to build duct work that goes through and because of that, and the reason I was getting that is my dad can hear everything in his room because of that stupid vent, and so the coffee maker will beep really loudly when it's done brewing, and so and plus he can hear me if I'm noodling around in the kitchen. It makes a lot of noise, so um, I usually wait to do anything in there till he's actually awake. Oh, it looks like we lost concurrent viewers. I wonder if that's just because I'm not watching it anymore or whatever, or if it's because you got grossed out by my room, or maybe I'm too late or something. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I need to get back to work. Let's get back to this thing. here. So I angle this down just a little bit there. But when I'm doing this, it doesn't get cut off as much. Okay, so let's go to whatchamacallit? GitHub. Why? Because I'm using that gist thing, and I guess it's just like it's like version control for a document. And let's look what we got here. So yeah, so I was cleaning up Act 1 to where that each thing is just happening, and I was trying to make sure that at each location or at each thing it was one line. Because what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make, here, let's make sure we're watching, looking at the same thing here. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make sure that each of these end up being a separate card or separate room. I always say cards because I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking of like HyperCard. Um, if you own a Mac, or if you currently own, I don't know if any of the new Apple computers have any resemblance to the old ones at all anymore. Because even the OS I heard is a derivative of Linux, and they used to have their own OS like a long time ago. But so what was I saying? Um, I forgot what I was saying. That's what you get when you don't get sleep. You need to get your sleep. Get your sleep. Um, oh yeah, the reason I call it cards. I was thinking of HyperCard. HyperCard was a program on Macintosh. We had Mac Classics in school, in high school. So this would be about anywhere from 91 to 94. We got I think we got Power PCs in like 94, I think. Anyways, those high color Macintoshes. Um, but most most of the time at school was in the early 90s was a Macintosh Classic, which is, I guess, um, were ones that they produced in the 80s. Uh, just regular Macintosh computers. Classics was because it was uh, reproducing the original Macintosh, I guess, or something like that. It doesn't really matter. They were black and white. They were like 512 by 384 pixels or something, and so there's this program called HyperCard, which is basically like where you get the term hyperlink, where you click on the link and it takes you somewhere. Well, this is kind of the similar deal. Is you make these cards, it has graphics and text and some interactivity, and then you can click on a link, or you can click on an image or something. It will take you to another card or another room or another page, however you want to look at it. So when I say cards, sometimes I'm thinking of that, and really it's what I call a room in my code. And a room right now is just a description, right, and some choices for scene names, so that you can um, go to different scenes, basically different cards, different rooms. So, anyways, each of these lines are going to be a room, more or less, but depending on how well I've done it and stuff. But right now, what I need to do is I need to see if I can cut out as much fluff as I can, as much not relevant to the actual events. So I'm even foregoing descriptions on here because A, it's just for me, and for anybody that's watching or listening, I mean, you can watch or listen, whatever. But in general, most people wouldn't see this, but I just need what happens. This happens, this happens, and this happens, and then I'll make these into cards, and then I'll decide where to put decision points, and um, I'll make the game here. So hopefully, hopefully in a few more sessions, I can be done with this. If you look, Act 1 is about 65 lines. Act 2 is so 139, 73 to 139. 73 to 133 is 60. So about 66 lines approximately. And this is 145 to 205. 145 to 205. That's about the same thing too, isn't it? It's about 60 lines. They're about equal. In a sense, they almost shouldn't be equal. Act 2 should be almost twice as much, not necessarily twice as much, because this isn't an actual screenplay. But as much time as you have to spend, usually in a 3-act structure, Act 2 is usually about half of the whole story. And Acts 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 are about a quarter of the story. So I'm going to be looking to adding stuff in here, but not just to pad it out. I got a character called Sir William, who happened to be turned into a unicorn, and so I have to figure out where to insert Sir William in here, because he's kind of important to the plot. He's important to the backstory because he was put out of commission by Violet, who's Max's _1 henchwoman, you might say. Oh, actually, I say Barty, King of the Gnomes, is his henchman, is chief henchman. Violet's more like his partner in crime, you might say. Um, and she put Sir William out of commission. Sir William was commander of the armies of Enchanted Lands and helped keep them safe. And when Max was here before, trying to do the same thing, he was trying to take control of the realms and stuff. The reason that our heroes won is partly because Sir Williams and his armies. Sir Williams is supposed to be like a master strategist. He's supposed to be great at at battle. Except for he had a little bit of an ego problem, and Violet used that against him, and so that they could get him out of the way, so that Max could go on with his plans unimpeded. So I do have Sir William mentioned here. See, John goes back. John goes back to night school with Sir William, and I didn't really actually introduce him anywhere. And by introducing him, I don't mean having a description and stuff. I mean literally the first point he comes into the story. And so because Act 2 really needs some extra love, I'm going to put I'm going to introduce Sir William at the beginning of Act 2. So the story goes, the backstory goes that the princess used to have a quote unquote unicorn pony, when she was a child, and they used to have unicorns in her realm, and they were all hunted to extinction by the Black Knight. And this is the same Black Knight that Max is using to command his armies and to hunt down Sir William as a unicorn, because the Black Knight has a particular taste for unicorn meat. And so the princess has kind of a link to this, and we're gonna figure out how she spots Sir William, and then somehow she wants to capture him, but not capture him to keep him necessarily per se, but to to save him. In which case, I might also need to introduce the Black Knight here somewhere. Um, for the most part in this, I haven't really mentioned the bad guys a lot. I mentioned Violet because she's important to doing some things. Okay, I've mentioned Barty, King of the Gnomes, and I mentioned Max. But there's a couple other characters here. For instance, the Black Knight. The Black Knight's commander of Max's armies, and like I said, they brought him here to hunt Sir William, and so I need to do something along the line. Uh, Pardon me for rubbing my nose, but I got allergies, and especially it's actually cold and rainy here today. In fact, it's going to be cold for like a week. In fact, Friday it's supposed to get down to 30, which is pretty unusual for Florida, or Central Florida. That is, Northern Florida is a different thing. They get winters and stuff. Down here, we don't get that much winter. It doesn't get that cold, but it's getting pretty cold. I guess because we have this big, huge like storm front that came in, that's going through from the northwest down to the southeast here. It's going to bring snow to like Texas and Alabama, maybe, and a couple of places, the panhandle of Florida. But it's also giving us cold temperatures here. So when we have to turn on the heat, my allergies start acting up. So I'm constantly rubbing my nose, and I'm apologize. I'll try to make sure I don't do that, but it bugs me all the time now. So um, it'll be fine though once this little cold winter thing is over. Anyways, so the first thing is I need to. Okay, so at this point, at the end of Act One, at the end of Act One, the Count, who turns into a bat, hint hint, um, he basically spied out that the princess locked in the wine cellar in the Grand Enchanted Landian Hotel. The Grand Enchanted Landian is the big major hotel at the resort. Um, and it, along with only like one other hotel, is open right now. Although, even though it's open, it's not technically open. It's not accepting new guests. So apparently, it's pretending to, like it's open, but it's not accepting new guests. So effectively, it's kind of closed. Um, so what I originally had was the rescue would be about the midpoint um, of the story, but because of the way I've been doing it, um, I don't have something to kind of springboard them into Act Two really. Uh, well, I could have put the rescue at the end of Act One, but um, I was figuring Act Two was getting a little sparse, and I was figuring maybe I should push that back a little bit. The second plot point is the information that they gain, and really these act breaks are kind of semi arbitrary. I mean, I know there's like a full like structure for a 3 act story and stuff, and you're supposed to have like this turning point and something called pinch points. I didn't even know about pinch points. I only read about the plot points. Plot point one is near the end of Act One. Plot point two is near the end of Act Two, and then of course the midpoint is a big turning point in the middle. And so the halfway point was going to be that they're them rescuing the princess, but uh, that how do I say it? That seemed like things were not going as long as they should have. the midpoint should be pushed back to the first plot point, or at least the, like I said, the beginning of Act Two. So I'm setting it. I'm saying that the second plot point is the fact that they find her trapped inside the wine cellar to the hotel, and they have to go rescue her. So effectively, you can think of this and the rescue as plot point one, um, or whatever. Uh, Obviously, this is going to be a game, so it doesn't have to follow screenplay or whatever like perfectly exactly. But yeah, so this is where we are, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my notes. Recent. And I'm gonna pull up everything I have about Sir William and now I have my notes here, and all I had was that she rescues him because she likes unicorns, but I don't really have a kind of a strong reason. But now I actually kind of created a sort of a backstory for her, even though that's not going to show up here. But it's going to be the thing that motivates her to be interested in Sir William. Otherwise, I don't have any reason for Sir William to even be in there. Um, they I put in there that him and John go to night school, and then I used to call it Knights Academy, but I like night school better because it sounds like night school, you know. Um, but with a K, right? And what was I saying? Oh yeah, they have to go back to night school. See, night school, they figure that they're okay with night school. They got them to train with real weapons and stuff, and as a real army, but they didn't. I guess they didn't go all the way. Like they should have enchanted them as well to be kind of mindless, like slaves or something. But they didn't. They figured that they were okay because they were promised they could fight and stuff, right? So they're not under any kind of enchantment, but they have been kind of lied to, and so we bring Sir William over, and they have a lot of respect for him. At least they did before he got turned into a unicorn and like basically disappeared. So when he comes back, then he's got some kind of weight behind him um, to help him out. But in order for that to become a thing, we have to somehow rescue him and then turn him back into human. So that's what I'm gonna try to do here in this second act. So let's go ahead and um, uh, let's find Sir William, and let's just go down. The only hope is to get into the administration building and disrupt things enough that the good army led by Sir William, the Unicorn King, overcome the villain's army. Okay, werewolves. I also asked some other characters. If you don't know, if you haven't watched or listened, like Kurt the Cowardly Werewolf and Red Riding Hood, um, and the dragons Nestor and Chester and Kirktooth. So we'll see. Uh, We have changed for better. What's to be? His full name is Sir William Devane, Esquire, and apparently, LibreOffice doesn't like my spelling of Devane. I don't care; it's a name, so I'm just leaving it like it is. And Sir William. Uh, no background exists for the Black Knight except for his fondness for unicorn meat. Uh, used to go to the Knights Academy until I was not kicked out. I would do everything backwards. Go after villagers and beat them up, hold maidens hostage until their families would pay up. Sometimes I'd burn the huts up for fun. It wasn't exactly what they wanted. Yeah. So the Black Knight is kind of a bad dude, anyways. Um. So probably there's some story about. Let's see. So I guess Max was an old college buddy. This is what I wrote, like years ago. He was an old college buddy. We'd sneak into Princess Prep and have a little fun. This was before the tourists. I have a thing for roasted unicorn meat, so imagine my surprise after I thought I had caught the last one. Max contacts me and says there's another unicorn, and uh, he'll tell me about it if I do some manhandling first. I had nothing better to do, so I took him up on the offer. Um, you're hunting Sir William. He's not a sir anymore. After this job, I guess I'll retire. Okay, so that was basically the whole of his backstory. His backstory is that he was college buddies with Max, the bad guy, and um, so he basically had nothing. He had nothing better to do. So and for another chance at another unicorn, he decided to work for him. And honestly, I don't think I put a lot of stuff in for the Black Knight to do. Uh, I mean, there should be some sort of a battle or a tournament or something. Maybe when he's turned back into a man. Uh, even though part of his that, anyways, that's kind of interesting because I don't really have like a subplot for Sir William other than he wants to become a man again. Maybe this could be um, part of the thing here. In order to do that, though, I'd have to maybe add some story other than him coming after him because he's a unicorn. Maybe they had some history together or something. Maybe they both went to night school at the same time, and an old college buddy. Uh, I could do a thing here too that I haven't thought of too. I might have to add it to uh, page 10. Let's go down here. Note. Uh, the 4 schools in Enchanted Lands used to be. What's that? Polytechnic. Polytechnic is it's a modern thing though, so it might not still be if I'm Polytechnic school. I want to know if huh. That's actually not a bad deal. See, I was looking up for different names for Princess Prep. Um, and I was thinking of Princess Polytechnic, but Polytechnic is like a vocational deal, and it considers like different disciplines. I'm pretty sure. Uh, Wikipedia focus primarily on vocational education, uh, prepared for a skilled craft. So that's good. Applied scientist career pathways. Actually, that's really perfect for what I'm just thinking of right now. And I just thought of this just based on looking over these deals. Uh, the 4 schools in Enchanted Lands used to be a single school called what do they call it? Because I don't know if it was called Enchanted Lands in the beginning. I think Enchanted Lands is part of the a resort name. I think I'm not really sure. Um, we can just call it Enchanted Polytechnic. That uh, Canada, Europe, United Kingdom. California State Polytechnic University, Florida Polytechnic University in Lakeland, which we always drive by. Uh, called Enchanted Polytechnic. Uh, where each this goes back to the Black Knight and Max being college buddies, and Max and Hubert knowing each other. So they were all at the school at the same time. Obviously, the Black Knight went the night way, and then Sir William would have apparently went to the school too, and his major, of course, would be I don't know, being a knight or something. All of this is supposed to be meant to be a kind of comedic in tone, and wouldn't have night school or whatever. Actually, this is kind of interesting to me. Let me look up something here. Uh, Public University, Independent University in 2012. Only Polytechnic University. New campus. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Academics, research. Okay, I don't know. Okay, residence halls. I get what that is. Uh, I don't really know what any kind of a college of any type really entails because I never went to one. Anyways, 4 buildings later became the 4 schools we know of today. Black Knight, the Black Knight, Sir William. Yeah, we can kind of do this little backstory thing. It won't really appear in the game any, but maybe a little bit, maybe flashbacks, maybe somebody's talking or something. Sir William, Max, and Hubert all used to go to it, including Violet as well. Of course, Barney, he's the king of the gnomes. He never went to the school. Uh, and if I end up doing Red Riding Hood, she's gonna end up somehow featuring. She probably went to the school too. So they were all kind of friends. I think would be the idea. Um, so there is a past here, and the Black Knight and Sir William were rivals. Maybe they were rivals over the same girl. Partly, maybe that was part of it. Um, but if it was, it's not going to be any one of the people that I have already. I could make one of the characters. I mean, I could crisscross them like that, but I don't think I really need to. We'll just say that they're rivals, and that the Black Knight would always kind of beat up on Sir William. Um, though Sir William's supposed to be good, so maybe he doesn't really. Um, he doesn't like Sir William was some sort of nerd or some sort of, you know, he'd almost be considered like a jock or whatever. But the Black Knight would be, of a kind of different clique. And the Black Knight, he's evil, and he was actually kicked out of Enchanted Polytechnic. Now I put Knights Academy in the beginning because it was going to be that. But now since I've created this new, it's kind of funny how uh, these notes help kind of help me create the story. In other words, I had all this stuff in the beginning, and so yeah, F Sir William. Okay, let's find Sir William again. Um, okay, let's keep going. Max Allen has been going. He's not Sir anymore. Okay. Sir William seeks a way to be restored to his human form, and the subplots defeat the Black Knight. Okay, so that's still a subplot, so that's good. They're both gonna have to be introduced here somewhere, though. Um, I'm not sure where, and I'm not sure how, though. So let's read on here. Um, time is almost 2. Okay, Sir William turned into unicorn, and Black Knight starts hunting him. Princess spots him and wants to use him. I don't know what she wants to use him for. I don't remember what that was about. I might have to go and look at her little character arc. He captures Sir William, finds out he can communicate somewhat, and takes him to Hubert. Hubert's partial magic doesn't turn him back to a human, but it does allow him to speak in human speech. After telling them all what transpired with Sir William, him and Hubert decide to go after Violet together. That's what I put then, but I think Sir William's going to have his own problem to deal with, which was the Black Knight. Sir William finally restored and takes control of the knights, so takes control of basically the armies. On a hunt, Black Knight comes within striking distance of Sir William, but manages to elude the Black Knight and tire him out. At night, as Sir William's observing, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. We're gonna skip past that, and I'm gonna go to my revision here. Basically, the armor was gonna fall off, and she was gonna be a princess trapped inside the armor, and the armor was gonna be. But I had already said that he was actually a character before, so he's not an enchanted suit of armor. So I'm not. That's partly why I'm not. Um. That's partially why I'm not using that, because he's an actual full character here. Okay, turn a unicorn, princess spots him. This would be Sir William's own deal. This is kind of interesting because I wanted you to play all the different characters, but I don't know about Sir William actually playing Sir William, because he's so part of the game he's going to be he's going to be unable to speak or do anything. Well, that's not true though. I mean, I could still make him a character that you can do. You can play. Um, communicate. Okay. So Hubert Halfway's magic. He tries to restore him to full human, but he can only manage to make him be able to speak, and that way he can at least he can talk. Uh, the striking distance. That's okay. That's weird. I thought. Uh, Roland rescues them all. Dang. Okay. Pilot wishes to rule with Max, and her only job is to train would-be fairy godmothers to be witches. Uh, so she can add a witch army to Max's other minions. Uh, she's gonna have more jobs than that. Violet is actually Violet is kind of a big part. She turns Sir William into a unicorn. Like he said, she trains the fairy godmothers, and there's a couple of things she does for Max, basically. Subplot: Violet wants to get rid of Red Riding Hood. She's jealous of what Red Max used to. So they used to have a history. Max and Red Riding Hood used to have kind of this history together. Uh, she can take that. She can take care of. Oh, that's right. The biggest part, the biggest deal is by taking part of Hubert's magic. Yes, the spell on the sewers. Okay. Turns Sir William into a unicorn. And actually, what's funny is her story is more like the backstory. Uh, because at this point, their thing is in full swing. Their plans are in full swing. So we're not telling much of what happened uh, just before John was brought into the realm by Hubert. Um, Max offers her a realm of her own to play with. She also arranges for Max and Barty to meet up. Violet gets the witch army to the portal location, but Hubert stops them, and then Violet starts to fight. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna do the divorce. It was gonna be kind of funny. She shares her magic with Max, and which thereby robs Hubert as part of his magic, and they've got married, and there's gonna be a divorce and stuff, and he pulls out a prenuptial agreement which states that he can keep his magic, and I was gonna do it that ways, but I decided not to do it that ways. Um, huh, not exactly what I thought of here. He returns Violet into the black cat to be his pet for as long as she lives. Huh. Well, that's not a bad idea actually. Once he gets his magic back, uh, Max brings Red out of hiding. Violet tells Red to find and recruit Kurt, as only Violet knows how Kurt's related. Not sure what that means. Some story idea had some at some point. Hmm. Find Kurt, as Violet knows how Kurt's related. It's a wizard named Buddy and gives him a recipe for a spell that gets rid of cowardice. Violet finds Kurt is trying to turn some werewolves and lets Red know where to capture him. The werewolves fight each other. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not really sure where I was going with that. It's not real strong, but there it is. Okay, so here we are, the Black Knight's character arc here. Black Knight wants to head down the last remaining unicorn, which happens to be Sir William, and lead Max's armies up and conquer the realms. And then, of course, he wanted to know what happens when he blacks out at night. So, just a sec. Hmm. Sir William lures Black Knight into a trap, so by Hubert versus Karen. They catch him. Hubert casts a counterspell, causing the armor to fall off. Okay. All right. It looks like I'm gonna have to make up a few things here, sort of. Sort of. Um. Hmm. Quick tooth. Okay, let's go down. All right. Well, it looks like I went all the way around. Okay. So I'm gonna have to think something up here, and I need to take a little bit of a break. It's not like my normal breaks, but I kind of need to break here. I'm kind of falling asleep, and I need some way of keeping myself awake. Um, so uh, thank you for watching so far, and I'll be back after the break. Okay, I'm back. I don't know how many people are still with me. Whatever. I'm gonna try to. There we go. Oop. Uh, Hold on just a second. What you make? Okay, let's get back into it. Basically, okay, so let's see. So basically, I was spending all that time. Okay, part of the time I was there we go. Part of the time I was trying to, I don't know, like, keep awake at first. Walk around, do a little thinking about my story, how to introduce Sir William and the Black Knight, and then I started watching a bunch of uh, YouTube videos about the three act structure because this is, I guess it would be kind of weak. I don't know. Let's go through. Let me read through this and uh, decide how I need to go about this. Now, the introducing characters is usually in the first act. It's usually in the first part. But I introduced a lot of characters. We did a lot of stuff in the first act, and the second act, just starting out with the second act, starting with these characters will be fine. Partly because the um, the unicorn has a direct connection to the princess, and she's not rescued until the end of Act One, basically. So that's why we introduced them here. Now, there should be a thing that tells you that they're there. Okay, but from her perspective, she gets kidnapped. She's on the train. She gets kidnapped. She wakes up. She tries to escape, and then um, but then she finds some stuff out. Okay, so let's just go through this real briefly here. Hubert and John go to rescue the princess of the Grand Enchanted Land and arrive at a side door with some guards in the front. And I'm gonna fix that to where it's just no extra fluff, no extra description, just basic stuff. Hubert casts a spell which don't work at first, then gives the guards the illusion of a large wagon with food. As they go in the kitchen, they find a secret passage into the wine cellar. John clocks the guard that's watching the princess with a heavy wine bottle. They escape with the cook and go back to SFC. Um, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make the cook a if the cook is just still gonna be a non-player character. I guess some of those cards are gonna be non-player characters too. So I mean, I don't need to make any more player characters, assuming that we're gonna be able to play all those characters. Our three main characters are Hubert, John, and the princess, and they're the main ones. The other ones are kind of support characters. So generally speaking, I could just limit it to those three characters is what you control. Um, Anyways, let's see. Roland arrives at FFC and meets Hubert and John. So he's meeting them for the first time. Roland tells them that there are slaves working Max's Quicksilver mines in the Gnome Kingdom. Interesting. After reviewing the papers, they formulate a plan. Hubert sends Roland and John into the mines. And there, okay, so there's a thing here, right? Um, this might be considered a midpoint here. This is kind of a big deal. Since Hubert then finds the door's secret magic focusing ring, use that to transport to the castle. Roland and John use the secret door to gain entrance to the Gnome Kingdom. Max finishes the Omni Gate, is ready to test it. Hebert tracks down Violet and confronts her. Roland and John locate the office in the mines. Um, Roland and John. Actually, the midpoint is kind of coming up here. Actually, if I'm doing this correctly, um, Roland and John then spot the door side and gagged on the floor. Sneaking in, Roland easily snaps the bonds holding him. Roland and John are then surprised by and captured by the gnomes, and that's kind of your big deal. Uh, Now this, let's see, Violet. With Violet present, Hubert casts a spell that causes his magic to return to him. Let me think about that for a second, because there was something I was thinking earlier. Um, that maybe his. No, that's okay. Well, I'll keep going here because I'm just kind of trying to get a sense here about how it's paced here. The guards alerted to Hubert's presence chased him to the train station. The gnomes promptly put John, Roland, and the rest to work. Uh, Back in the mines, Shaw signals the doors overpower the guards. There's an explosion that seems to come from one of the mine walls. When the smoke clears, a train appears to have crashed into the mine. Herbert pops out of the train. Disoriented by the explosion, the gnome guards are easily overpowered. The slaves get released and start to run out of the mines. Hubert shouts for everyone to head back to the Renaissance Fair. Uh, Hubert sends John to night school to inform them and enlist their help. Hubert himself goes to Fairy God College with full magic and breaks the magic shield. Basically, he gets back in. Um, Hubert then lets all the would-be fairy godmothers and convinces them to help him. Roland Sr. and Roland Jr. head to the North Country where his people are, and John goes back into the night school with goes back to night school with Sir William. A lot of nights and nights in training. Listen to what they all agree to help. So, um, yeah, there's okay. So there's kind of a weird, interesting thing here as far as the more I keep doing this, the more it kind of seems to shorten Act Two. And Act Two, in most stories, is like a good half of your whole story. The novel, it's like half the pages, right? Or in a movie, it's like 1 hour in a 2 hour movie. And so, um, and usually this thing about there's a kind of a point in a lot of these movies where the good guy loses or seems to be losing at the end, and it's usually at the end or the beginning of Act Three, at the or the end of Act Two, and and then and I kind of move these around kind of on purpose for that, but it seems like I have a lot more stuff here. Let's see. Spills in the street. Avery begins to speak to the crowd. Uh, okay. Hmm. I mean, I can still go with this anyways. Because why am I trying to strictly follow a screenplay format anyways? It's going to be a game, of course. But I did kind of want it a strong mate. But it's like there's not a main plot point here at the end of Act Two. Exactly. What it is the plot point here is the point where Hebert comes back and yeah, Hubert comes back. The part where Hubert rescues everybody from the mines by crashing in the train into the side of the mountain or whatever, and So technically, that's around this time. This is when they all run out and stuff. I mean, I guess that still fits, kind of, doesn't it? And going into the mines, hmm, that's the thought. And I can still, like I said, I can still fill it with some of these other characters that need to be introduced in here. So I need to find the place where both the Black Knight and Sir William are introduced. And it's like that. Where's the first time that we see them? Hmm. I'd have to change the story if Sir William somehow was responsible in helping our heroes rescue the princess. But afterwards, what happens? Where would Sir William be, and what would she has a backstory, so she's interested in unicorns. Um, so um, I mean, you might see something cool like a nice horse, a really nice horse out there in a field somewhere, and there might be something funny that draws you to it, but that's not really a motivation. She needs a real motivation to, if she saw a unicorn, she would think it was cool. Maybe she would go and look at it or pet it or something, assuming that she could catch up to it. Um, but we kind of need that motivation part in there. So somehow the Black Knight has got to factor into this. He's got to be chasing Sir William or something. That's a thought. But I might have to do that in Act One. I might have to add a part in Act One where that's happening, or I can just open Act Two with that basically. And that could be just the starting of Act Two that ways. Hmm. Let's see. Escape. Hmm. Probably have happen after their escape. They have the cook with them. So, and the idea is the Black Knight kind of likes to eat unicorn. He likes unicorn steaks. So, maybe, I think, maybe they see him on the road. Maybe that's the deal. Um, did I describe rescue the princess and right at the door, store guards in front? Um, let me look at look at my notes real quick here. Um, laden. I don't use the word laden very much, so let's look at that. Uh, get some suitable disguises. Talk to, Okay, so they don't actually have a wagon, so they actually, I guess, they walk to the hotel. It's really kind of at the end of the street, so maybe this is the time where they get chased in the Forgotten Forest. Hmm. Well, maybe they don't use a maybe they don't walk there. I don't actually say that they walk in here. I just say that they go to um it just says they arrive, right? They arrive in a small coach, not a wagon. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out how all this works together. Um, the princess can instantly want to help him. So what if they have this little coach? Uh, okay. So we assume they have an access to a wagon, a small, like not a wagon, but a small coach, and a couple horses hitched to it, and then they travel to the hotel. They do all the stuff. They get back out, and then somebody's chasing them, and they take off, and they want to lead them away from their headquarters as they're currently. At one point I was going to have them use the Count's hotel, the Batson Belfry Hotel, as a kind of a base. And actually, maybe that's what I could do. Maybe instead of going back to maybe instead of going back to the chicken place, they actually end up going to the Count's hotel. That's a thought. Okay, so this is what I was thinking, and it might be a little bit weak, so I might have to refine it. But they get chased, and after a while, the bad guys don't end up catching it. The bad guys end up losing them, and they're traveling, and they see Sir William like running past, and then they see the Black Knight chasing after him, and it triggers the princess's memory a little bit, and um, she's the Black Knight, and then she has to cook. Maybe she says something like, "Who's that?" Maybe she suspects because she knew who got rid of the unicorns in her realm. Um, and the cook says the Black Knight, and she goes, "I suppose he has a taste for unicorn meat." And the cook says, "Yes, they had asked me it. sometime if I could prepare unicorn steaks, and maybe we'll leave it at that. Maybe she ends up saying yes, she could if they found one. And so the idea is, she if they had gotten another unicorn, she would make unicorn steaks. Um, Maybe she could deny it or refuse that she would ever do anything like that to them. But so then the princess tells John and Hubert that they need to they need to rescue Sir William. They don't know it's Sir William yet. Even Hubert doesn't know. I mean, he knows who Sir William is, but presumably Sir William like disappeared like years ago. Nobody knows what happened to him, and so she manages to convince John and Hubert that they need to get to the unicorn before the Black Knight does. And then talking about how the Black Knight killed all the unicorns in her realm, and that must have been what happened to all the unicorns in Enchanted Lands, right? In the Nexus, the Sunny Nexus of Worlds, which I kind of made up on the spur of the moment. It sounds dumb, but it's useful, I guess. Okay, so maybe so she convinces them they gotta help, and um, maybe they're heading toward that won't have anything to do with the hotel, but maybe they head towards the Forgotten Forest. Now, Forgotten Forest uh, um, is what John woke up in the beginning, and they got to move on basically. And it's the forest without any leaves on it. Sort of looks like winter, but it's not actually winter. And the idea is if you stay in there too long, you'll begin to forget. And yeah, that could actually be a good thing. You remember in The Wizard of Oz, if any of you ever watched the movie, I'm not sure if it happened in the book because it's been so long since I actually read the book, but I know the movie a lot better. But our guys start heading toward the Emerald City. They see the Emerald City and they start heading to it, and they want to go right across this poppy field, and that's when they fall asleep, right? The poppies, actually, the Wicked Witch makes them fall asleep in the poppy field, and then Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, she actually makes it snow on them, and they wake up, and I don't really know what that's how that's supposed to cause that, but basically, could do a similar idea. They go into the forgetful forest. I don't know if the original title was The Forest of Fading Thoughts. That sounded too, I don't know, serious or whatever. You know, Forgotten Forest. The Forgotten Forest would imply that it was forgotten. The Forgetful Forest means uh, it's forgetful, but it could also mean something else. Maybe it's called the Forgetful Forest. Anyways, it makes you forget the longer you're in there. The longer you're in there, the more you forget what you're doing, and that's actually a another problem to solve. In fact, that's probably a good thing for an Act Two. Um, Let me think. I think I think in the first part of an Act Two, usually the there's things thrown at him at your character, but they're able to handle it. I think because the second half of Act Two, things start going wrong for the heroes, and it looks like they're going to lose. Before the final thing, and in this case, this should actually be in the front end. So maybe it's not too hard to overcome, but I'll still have to figure out, I have to actually come up with a way for them to overcome it. You know, they won't sleep or they won't like be incapacitated, but maybe they'll go in there and then eventually they'll slow down because they kind of forgot what they're going for, and then eventually they slow down, and then at some point they don't know what they're doing, you know, and so they stop and they look around trying to figure out, try to remember what it was they were supposed to be doing. Um, and then you still have to have a way for them to overcome that, which I don't know yet. So maybe what I should do, just so I at least have a little something that I did today. Um, maybe I should just put that first part that I just said here. And uh, give me a sec. Um, Here, let's go back. Webcam. Hmm. Um, should I do the on break? I guess I'll do the on break thing for just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back, and I'll resume here. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Just made some coffee, and let's go to webcam here for a quick second. And oh, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna be leaning down. Okay, so let me go back to right, editing this. Okay, so I'm just gonna start writing stuff, and then I'll try to format it and fix it up later. Okay, so it's gonna be right after they rescue the princess. Okay, so as they go to the kitchen, they find Cox guard. They escape. Uh, we're gonna change this. They're not going to. They take off. Uh, let's just say there was a wagon already there, and a wagon there. Well, I don't know. In a small coach. Small, let's say uncovered coach. Say small coach. I don't know. It'll just be whatever I decide to do the description as some guards chase them. Start to chase them. Maybe here. Let's see something here. Maybe the Black Knight is there already when they escape, and he tells them that he'll get him. Maybe that's it. They take off on a small coach. As one of the guards yell, as wait, let's see something here. Just a sec. Okay, so what's okay? I'll tell you what happens here before I actually write down what I'm going to write down. Okay, and actually, let's do something here. Let's also where is this? Let's take this out. This asterisk is just my place here. All right. So, okay, so here's the deal, right? They start to escape. Okay, they go out. Okay. As they walk out of the side doors, trying to be nonchalant. How do you say that plainly? Because this is important. That they're trying to walk out slowly and confidently, right? They try to walk out of the side doors calmly and slowly when someone yells, "She's escaped." Okay, that's actually okay to put in there. The Black Knight rides up on his black charger as the heroes, as well as our heroes start to run. As our heroes run to an empty carriage. There we go. Carriage is what I was looking for before, not a coach. coach is usually covered. Carriage is a carriage, so it can be covered or not covered. As our heroes run to an empty carriage. Um, okay. What happens next? What happens next? Does Black Knight have a name? We've been calling him Black Knight for so long that I almost wonder if I should give him a name like Mordred or something. You know. Um, let's think. We could actually give him a name. Just so we don't. Hey, Black Knight. Or they might just address him as Sir. The guard uh the guard uh that was knocked out uh runs out of the side doors and tells the Black Knight to get them. Okay. So I don't need to actually say the name in here at least. Okay. Uh alright. The guards like that runs out side doors and tells the Black Knight to get them. Uh as our heroes speed away, the Black Knight starts chasing after them. Uh, and I don't know if this is going to be these are going to be probably multiple cards. These would be they would be several things on one card. So I'm gonna have to go back through it, and I'm gonna have to like compress it to where it fits on one. Because imagine this is like uh, this will be after they're already outside, so it'll be like a similar location, but it'll be like they walk out, and anyways, I'll have to go back through and do the thing where I defluff it, basically uh unencumber it, basically, thin it down, streamline it. Speed away, the Black Knight starts chasing after them. Um, the princess looks back and says something about the Black Knight looking familiar. Uh, the princess asks the cook uh, about the Black Knight's taste for unicorn meat, and the cook confirms. The princess then tells John and Hubert that this is the same Black Knight that hunted all the unicorns in her realm. Um, this is going to be kind of long. In fact, this is more than several things that would normally go in one card. So I'm gonna have to see if I can streamline it. I don't know. It'll be tough. I mean, I can. I kind of do this anyways. When I write, I've done lots of writing before. I'm not saying I'm a good writer, as in I'm a writer. I'm not professionally a writer. I'm not even an amateur writer. But when I write stuff, I can usually go back over it, and I can usually eliminate words and use different words, and I can usually pare it down to something small. So I'll just have to do that the best way I can do it. Okay, so now are we still, um, nope. Of course not. Sorry about that. If you're watching, not that anybody's watching, even if they are listening. Okay, uh, so this is what I have come up with so far. They try to walk out the side doors calmly and slowly, and someone yells, "She's escaped." The Black Knight rides up on his black charger as our heroes run to an empty carriage. The guard that was knocked out runs out of the side doors and tells the Black Knight to get them. As our heroes speed away, the Black Knight starts chasing after him. And I might just reduce it to he chases after him, They run out, he chases after him. The princess looks back and says something about the Black Knight looking familiar. The princess asks the cook about the Black Knight's taste for unicorn meat, and the cook confirms. The princess then tells John and Hebert that this is the same Black Knight that hunted all the unicorns in her realm. Now, we still haven't seen Sir William yet, so she might not be making the connection. She might know who he is, but I guess the princess then asks Hubert if there is, by any chance, any unicorns around. Hubert replies that the same Black Knight hunted their own unicorns. But he hasn't left. Doesn't mean he would necessarily leave, though, even if he hasn't hunted them all down. But he hasn't left yet. So he hasn't left yet. Let me do that. They eventually come to the forest without the leaves on the trees and slow down a bit. See, this is okay. Slow down a bit. Okay. This would almost be a cutscene. It almost wouldn't be even in my fully interactive deal. It might not be a It might not be interactive. It might be cutscene or something, or like they go, they head down this direction or something. In fact, there's a possibility. I had a thing earlier about there being a journal that John writes in, and that's how you save. That's the save system. The save system is a journal that after you go to a certain place, it saves it in the thing. Could do something similar to that with like a map and the map to the places that you visited. I'm talking about in the regular point and click fully interactive version, but where where you go somewhere and then you can instantly go there on the map, and that also serves as a sort of a checkmark thing, like a save system. Anyways, that's not really important here. Eventually come before, so at least slow down a bit. They spot a unicorn out a ways, just standing and looking around. So the idea is he's not dead or frozen or anything. He's not doing anything. He's just looking around. As they approach the unicorn, it only looks at them instead running away. Okay, so what else do they do? Okay, so we have to do this thing where this must be the unicorn, and that they're going to try to rescue him, and then they start forgetting because they're in the forgetful forest. I'm going to call it forgetful forest right now. Maybe we can eventually do a play on Mirkwood. Forgetful Forest might be like a nickname, right? Not an official name. So you think of Mirkwood as being murky, you know. We do something that sounds like something similar, or you know. Anyways, I'll have to think about it. As they approach the unicorn, it only looks at them instead of running away. The princess hops out and starts petting him and talking to him. John tells the princess they don't have time, and she glares at him. Okay. Actually, this is kind of okay here, because what happens is Hubert ends up casting a spell on him that allows him to talk. And I think there'd be some communication or something there. The princess asks the unicorn if he's lost. And we'll say 1 for yes and 2 for no. We'll do it that ways. See, this is all that happens in one place, so I'm not sure how I'll reduce that down. The unicorn stamps its foot once. The princess then asks the unicorn if he can understand. Let's see. The princess then tells him to do that again, and he does. The princess then asks him, tells him. The princess then asks him, what would be a no question that she could ask him? Okay. If he's a horse, and he stamps his foot twice. She then asks him if he's a unicorn, and he stamps once, meaning yes. Okay, so now they have a communication with him. He can understand them, apparently. Um, She asks if the Black Knight is chasing him. And the unicorn just looks at her. Oh. Hubert then tells her he must be losing his memory because we're in let's check something out. Let's go to Chat GPT. I think I like Chat GPT the best for this kind of thing. What are some synonyms for forgetful? Absent-minded, distracted, inattentive, neglectful, unmindful, scatterbrained, oblivious, preoccupied, careless, heedless, purgatory prone, daydreamy, spacey. Okay, so in my game, there's a forest called nicknamed the Forgetful Forest. However, it also has an official name, but I'm trying to come up with it. I'm thinking similar to Mirkwood from The Lord of the Rings, where Mirk is similar to murky. Oh, murky. Murky is with a U? I thought it was. So I want something similar to forgetful. The Oblivion Woods. Lost Grove. Lost Grove. Fading Vale. Mindvale Forest. Not bad, not bad. Willow Haze. Willow Haze? Not bad either. Driftwood Hollow. Lapswood. No, Laps. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Lapswood. That sounds good. Because that has a little comedy twist to it. Because Laps is not really. I mean, it's a real word, but it's Mistshade Forest, Whisper Fall, Shadowmire. Shadowmire, it sounds kind of cool, but that's not. Somber Wilds, Duskbriar, Evershade. These are actually all good, kind of good names. The Withering Thicket, Faint Whisper Forest, Valenness Grove, Shroudfell, Dimshade Woods. I like these. I actually like all of these, but the one that's least fantasy-like and actually sounds kind of humorous, even though it's a real word, is Lapswood. Lapswood just sounds perfect, actually. That's funny. Fantastic choice. Strikes the perfect balance between being whimsical and grounded in meaning while still fitting the lighthearted tone of your game. So he hints at forgetfulness with lapse and wood. That's fantasy verse vibe, plus the slightly humorous undertone could make it. Okay. I actually have my brains. Maybe travelers keep losing their way or train of thought. That's actually is what it is. I actually have a little bit of lore for Lapswood. So basically, the story is that um, so basically the forest, the trees in the forest have no leaves, like winter, but it's not winter. Um, but it's not winter. Um, so the story goes that that the trees eventually forgot to grow them. So they commonly call it the forgetful forest, where uh, when people stay in it too long, they begin to forget things until uh, until they die or whatever. I don't want to be morbid, but happens. Not trying to be morbid or anything, but basically, not to be morbid or anything. Different. Forgetting to grow leaves gives a quirky yet eerie charm. It perfectly fits your lighthearted band's nickname. Forgetful Forest feels like something locals would use, adding an approachable, almost folklore. Uh, Leaf shimmered. See, ChatGPT is like coming up with a whole backstory and stuff. The trees began to forget their seasons. They stopped growing leaves and leaving their branches bearing year round. The locals say it wasn't just the trees that forgot. Travelers that linger in the forest too long start misplacing their thoughts. It starts small, forgetting their way out, why they entered, or even their own name. Some believe Lapswood has a mind of its own, sealing memories to preserve its ancient roots. Others say the trees are cursed, stuck in perpetual state of dormancy because they've forgotten how to thrive. Humor's answer was perfectly okay. Yeah, you know, ChatGPT always tries to make you feel good, like this is such a great idea that you made, or that I made, whatever. So this is simply a profound concept for setting. Okay, all right. I don't need to last for too long in that, but I like that this whole idea though. Here, let's put that. Let's actually put that in a note here. This is presuming I'm still on. Yeah. Ooh, what do we got? Chatting. Good to find out now if your plot's not fulfilled. I hear you saying that Act 2 needs some key plot points. Think of the plot as one potential type of game. It's a single linear game that has only one play button at the start. One click and it plays the story out into the end. Once you have that type of game in your head, consider what interactive decides happen. Think of the lootology of each location. Uh, yes, I know what you mean, and that's what I'm actually doing. But I still have to come up with some of this story, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, so and then we have somebody. Mm, yeah. Uh, okay, so let's do it here. Note the forgetful forest. Yeah, the forest of forgetfulness would have been another one. The forgetful forest with is the local name of Lapswood, a forest which, if one lingers too long, they begin to forget their way, and they begin to forget their way, and eventually themselves. Okay. I mean, that's a good short note. Just leave it like that. And then let's go back into the, where's it at? Okay. Lapswood lore. Okay. I need to go back to where is where is the the thing? Where's the thing? Okay, here's the thing. Um he must be losing his memory because we're in Lapswood. Uh we'll just say Lapswood instead of Forgetful Forest. Use it interchangeably. I like the name, so I'm gonna keep it. Uber then tells you he must be losing his memory because we're in Lapswood. Um, so Karen tells Hubert to use his magic. When he replies, half of his magic was stolen. Um, Hubert tries anyway, and before long, uh, the unicorn is able to talk to them um, in human speech. Um, the unicorn is unable to remember his name. Boy, this is going to be a lot of stuff I have to pare down because it's supposed to fit on one card, and this is just all a bunch of stuff that happens. Um, and I'll have to figure out. I mean, I guess not everything can be one line per card, basically. So, um, see, I could have called instead of rooms, I could have called it cards instead of scenes, which I can't use anyways because Redot and Godot use scene as an actual keyword, an actual object in the system. I could have called this instead of rooms. I could have called it cards. But rooms have exits, and cards might have choices. Like a flashcard has choices. Anyways, I'll leave it as room, I guess. But anyways, one room per line might not be feasible entirely. His name, and they all start walking together. Soon, nobody remembers what they were doing. Now, this is where I actually have to. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to go ahead and you know what? Maybe I should call it a day here. I know I didn't do that much. I know that I took a super long break and I took a long time to get started, but because first I need to get my coffee, and it's already 4 o'clock, and it's already almost too late for coffee, and I'm supposed to be done at 4 normally, anyways, and I mostly kind of flubbed the day, even though I did make progress. That's the good part. The important part always is that I make progress. So I'm making progress here. Okay. So let's go ahead and update this. Okay. Now we're in Act 2. See, in Act 2 is already almost twice as long now. But it won't be once I rework it, once I streamline it. Okay, so yeah. And actually, when I get done with Act 2, then I'm going to copy the whole revision thing back into my notes. Even though I have it here and I've got all the different stages. I just want to be able to, do a search on the whole thing. And anyways, okay, so the one thing that I need to do here, I should still be on desktop. Yes, I'm on desktop. Okay, so I'm gonna do my little recording to show what exactly I added here, just for to the princess. Okay. So, just for my update video. In fact, I don't even have that much there. That's the same way with yesterday's. Although it's more than a few minutes, so I'll be able to cut it down a little bit, kind of shortly, kind of quickly, and it'll work. It'll be cool. Okay, so let me start recording, and then I'll do this little deal. I read this off here as what I got done, and then I'll stop recording, and then I'll call it a day. Short day, but at least I still made progress. And it's Friday, and that means tomorrow I'll go back to editing. And I'm almost done editing number 5, and I'll get to start on number 6. And I don't know. I'll see if I can try to catch up. Maybe tonight I can do another super secret edit stream. I know I didn't do it last night because I really wasn't feeling it. At a certain point, you play with something, and then it's like I got most of that video done. Even though all I did was speed it up, but I got it down to the size I wanted. All I need now is maybe some background music and um, my voiceover. I need to do a voiceover for it to explain what I'm doing over the fast motion, and then I can call that done. But this is not really the in my head, it's like I'm already done with it, even though I'm not actually done with it. So we'll see. Tomorrow I'll do edit stream. Tonight, maybe I'll try to do a little bit of editing. Maybe I can get 5 actually done tonight, so that tomorrow I can just start on number 6 automatically. Anyways, so here. All right, let's do something here. Let's just start recording. Produce a better game of many kinds after this grind. Yeah. Start recording. Okay. Okay, so this is what I accomplished today. Act 2. I started with Act 2, and this is all the same stuff here. I didn't actually streamline any of this. Instead, I had to add some stuff. We added the introduction of the Black Knight and Sir William. And this is all I got done so far, and then I'll have to resume on Monday. Okay. So at this point, John hits the guard over the head, and then they try to escape. They try to walk out of the side doors calmly and slowly, and then someone yells, "She's escaped." The Black Knight rides up on his black charger as our heroes run to an empty carriage. The guard that was knocked out runs out of the side doors and tells the Black Knight to get them. As our heroes speed away, the Black Knight starts chasing after them. The princess looks back and says something about the Black Knight looking familiar. The princess asks the cook about the Black Knight's taste for unicorn meat, and the cook confirms. The princess tells John and Hubert that this is the same Black Knight that hunted all the unicorns in her realm. The princess then asks Hubert if there's any chance, if there is by any chance any unicorns around. I'll have to modify that, but that should be okay. Hubert replies that this same Black Knight hunted their own unicorns, but he hasn't left yet. They eventually come to the forest without leaves on the trees and slow down a bit. They spot a unicorn out of ways, standing and looking around. As they approach the unicorn, it only looks at them instead of running away. The princess hops out and starts petting him and talking to him. John tells the princess they don't have time, and she glares at him. The princess asks the unicorn if he's lost. The unicorn stamps his foot once. The princess then tells him to do that again, and he does. The princess then asks him if he's a horse, and he stamps his foot twice. She then asks him if he's a unicorn, and he stamps his foot once, meaning yes. She then asks if the Black Knight has changed again, and the unicorn just looks at her, because at this point he's kind of forgotten. Hubert then tells her he must be losing his memory because we're in Lapswood, otherwise known as the Forgetful Forest. So Karen, Forest of Forgetfulness, Forgetful Forest, whatever. So Karen tells Hubert to use his magic, but when he replies half of his magic was stolen. Hubert tries anyways, and before long, the unicorn is able to talk to them in human speech. The unicorn is unable to remember his name, and they all start walking together. Soon, nobody remembers what they were doing. And that's what I got done today. And then on Monday, I'll have to resume there because we need to find a way of getting the heroes and Sir William out of there, um, so that we can um, yeah, to get out of there so that we can continue on with the story. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Okay, so so yeah, and that's all I'm going to do today. Um, I should have done more, but I had to come up with some things, and that's really what these streams are about, anyways. That the idea is, well, how do I come up with the story? Because that's what I was kind of frustrated with the Double Fine Adventure um, documentary, was that Tim Schafer would always go into his office, close the door, and then they wouldn't show him for a while, and then he'd come out and say something or do something, and then they go back in, and then they come back to some guys working on the engine a little bit, and it really didn't tell you that much. And I was just like, man, I'm kind of disappointed. So in this, I'm telling you everything. Although I did have most of the story worked out when I started, but I'm telling you all the story, and then when I have to come up with stuff, I kind of show you how to come up with it. I mean, I don't really show you how my mind works because my mind just works. I'll think of an idea, or I'll hear a song, or I'll see a movie, or I'll think of something, and then soon it becomes a story, it becomes more and more, and then it comes up in my head, and I'll go, well, what if I do this and I do this and I do this, and then soon it's something that pops out, and then I either write it down or I don't. In this case, of course, I wrote down these things in here, so that's what these streams are for. And so yeah, we're still making progress, even if I don't do that much for on one stream one day or whatever. Doesn't mean I won't for the rest of the time, and I'll make sure every time I do a stream, I'm gonna make progress every single time. So that's even if it's just one line, even if it's just one idea that comes up, or something. Even if I didn't hardly do anything at all, but just a little bit, it'll still be there. Anyways, I want to thank you for listening, watching. Thanks to Circuit Bone for giving me feedback and some ideas. And if anybody else is watching and or listening, wants to give out ideas and feedback, I'll listen to them gladly. I'm not I'm not the the best. I haven't made a full adventure game. I've made games before. I've finished a few games, not very many. I've had more unfinished projects than I have finished projects, but I'm making this game. I'm gonna make it, and I'm gonna show you how I do it. So just so you get an idea, maybe you want to do something similar, and even though this isn't a tutorial or anything, and I don't hardly know what I'm doing, you can go, oh, this is how he did it, so maybe I can do it this way. Anyways, so yeah. Index cards are cut out circles with cardboard names on them. You can visualize as buttons moving over a map or a group to help you focus on the current scene that you're unpacking. The Lego lying around that helps to keep it tidy. A green board or clusters of bricks for characters. Yeah. Um, yeah, I might think about that sometime soon. I haven't gotten to I don't know. I suppose I could always have started with that way from the beginning, where I tried everything out, and I keep track, and I have maps, and I should do that. I should start doing that. Um, I probably need a little bit help doing that, but now that I got a lot of this written out, and I got kind of a general idea of the layout, Castle in the Clouds, this layout of the whole resort, where the schools are, a general idea of where the forest is and where the Count's hotel is and stuff, I can start probably doing something like that, and I will. You know, it just this is just the start. This is just the beginning. So, yeah. Anyways, so thanks for watching, listening, and whatever, and I will see you tomorrow for some editing. Maybe tonight, possibly for a little bit of editing, kind of off the cuff. And yeah, so I'll see you later. Thanks.